Užíváš si toto video? Doufám, že jo, protože teďkom přichází Grand of the Avalon za 3, 2, 1.
You took your sweet time, eh? Toto bolelo, a no tak dobře no, tak jako překročíme rovnou ke hře. Jako budeme muset to nějak zaonačit. No, tak začínáme za 3, 2, 1. There you are. It took you a while. I was getting worried you wouldn't make it. I even realized that I didn't get a chance to introduce myself.
Já se chápu to. Pokračujeme za 3, 2, 1.
The all-consuming Red Death. 600 years ago, King Arthur led the great escape from the homelands, where our kingdoms were ravaged by the plague. Leading people to Avalon, he started the Age of Conquest and took the island from the Four Dwellers. Using the mysterious powers of Menhirs, together with Merlin, they cleansed the land of the weirdness, a primordial force of chaos and possibility. But now, long after the death of the king, Camelot is in shambles as Avalon fractures into chaos. Old legends are gone, and the weirdness is creeping back into our lands. The bleeding heart of the plague has started beating once more, and the Red Death has returned. Rulers of the island asylum, an order of the Red Priests, are desperate to stop it by any means necessary. Rotting in one of their cells is a stranger who might bring a spark of change to this cursed island stuck in everlasting autumn.
You took your sweet time, eh? But I understand. I did too, when I was leaving this place for the first time. You have to admit that the Red Priests are quite resourceful. At least when it comes to death and dying. Great question, truly. But in case you hadn't noticed, we're still within the walls of the island asylum. When we're out, then we can talk. I'm told this path leads to the beach. I'll wait for you there until dusk. Good luck.
It's not here.
I've been waiting a long time for someone to find me. Are you here to help me leave this place? I wish I could answer. I cannot remember. I know I am not complete. I remember I once knew who I was at some point, but I do not anymore. I just am. And you? Why are you here? Are men here? That would explain the weirdness surrounding us. I do not know. I think it is some kind of prison, deep in the weirdness. But walk with me. Let's find out together, now that I'm free. I remember arriving on the shores of Avalon. That was the beginning of everything. But there were doubts and questions. How does it feel to leave your homeland behind? To keep moving forward, even though every step takes you into the unknown? The Four Dwellers quickly made it clear to us. If we wanted to call this place home, we'd have to fight for it, down to the last drop of blood. In the end, we won the war. Merlin stole the sacred flame of the Four Dwellers and ignited the menhirs, driving away the mist and clearing the nights of weirdness. It was the first time we uncovered the secrets hidden within the menhirs. Still, the land of Avalon honored our toil. It soaked up our sweat, our suffering, and our blood. In time, it rewarded us. Here in Avalon, we were given the chance to create great things. Camelot, the eternal castle, the capital of all humankind, was meant to be a symbol of that. We left the homelands to survive. The plague had consumed everything we once knew. We thought we'd escaped it, but the Red Death returned like a specter to haunt us. Once again, it began to devour our home.
Skabejser, de nogen gab, ni fældheim, mus fældheim, ild is, sover falder ind, jeg jo skabejser, de nogen gab, ni fældheim, mus fældheim, ild is, sover falder ind, jeg jo skabejser, de nogen gab, ni fældheim, mus fældheim, ild is, sover falder ind, jeg jo skabejser, de nogen gab, Felheim, Musfelheim, ild is, sover falder ind, jeg jo skabejser. Oh, awaken thee, once and future king.
I am his hunger, the craving for what was beyond reach. I am the price paid for touching the unreal.
Yes, I can see through the mist, but it's still all so unclear. I've dreamt of countless deaths for such a long time. Yes, it's time to wake. Dragon. I led humans to Avalon shores. I built the great halls of Camelot. Thank you for bringing me here. I believe I owe you, young one. I appreciate it, but let us leave decorum and honors for times of leisure. For now, we need to make way for Avalon. I have to see my kingdom again. I trust you'll accompany me, or would you rather stay in this wretched place? I am not sure. Yet I learned to be grateful of fortunate outcomes, even if they come unexpected. It seems to be a place located between life and death. Or maybe a place that can defy death. But why was it created? By whom and when? These I'm unable to answer. Trust me, I wish I knew. I remember death, then darkness, a terrible loneliness, ages upon ages of solitude, and these are all the details I have. Perhaps, in time, I'll remember more. But that's enough questions for now. Let us walk together and see the kingdom forged so long ago. After years of struggle, my people in Avalon finally live in peace and prosperity. I must see the legacy of the age of conquest with my own eyes. My Camelot in all its glory. What is happening? No! I see now. I am not whole. You have only freed a part of me. I'm not strong enough. For now, I will have to journey by your side until my strength returns. I'll see the world through your eyes, In return, I'll lend you what strength I have. You are a surprising acquaintance, and it will be a pleasure to travel with someone of your disposition. And since it seems that fate has bound us together, let us make the best of it. Seeing my legacy through the eyes of another, a true picture of Avalon, not one crafted specifically for the king, may prove to be an interesting experience. Oh, what an adventure this will be.
He was the hand that reached beyond knowing, the seeker who dared cross the boundary, the dreamer who glimpsed the shape of what could be. He was the hand that reached beyond knowing, the seeker who dared cross the boundary, the dreamer who glimpsed the shape of what could be.
There you are. It took you a while. I was getting worried you wouldn't make it. I even realized that I didn't get a chance to introduce myself. I'm Caradoc, your savior. What kept you so long? Call it whatever you want, but you made it back, and in better shape than before. The Red Death's gone. So either you're lucky, or you picked up something useful in there. You found him. I'm truly sorry it turned out to be you. Well, it seems that the Red Priests managed to succeed in at least one of their experiments. You were able to go deep into the weirdness, survive, and even bring a piece of our king's soul back with you. I don't have to explain that this isn't something that happens every day. My job is to make sure it won't ever happen again. And this means you have to die. I'm truly sorry. I'm sorry, but that had to be done. It shouldn't leave any lasting damage. I had to get rid of the parasite that infested you a moment ago. You've seen, no, you've felt what he's capable of. This power can't be unleashed on Avalon. Not again. I could, but I have no issue with you. Only with what you carry within you. This means you're safe, unless you decide to stand against me. You are much more valuable to me alive than dead. You've found yourself in the middle of a mess that's been brewing for 600 years. Every single time things go down the shitter on this island, a bunch of cowards in Camelot bring our once and future king back from the dead. It's happened before. It will happen again. And soon. My journey, my mission, is to stop this from happening. No, but thanks to you, I finally destroyed a piece of him I couldn't have reached otherwise. And from where I stand, that's progress. What the Red Priests did to you must have been horrible. And yet, you've gained a unique ability to contain Arthur's powers within you. And what can be contained can be killed. That is why your assistance might be of help on my journey. My goal is to destroy King Arthur. To get rid of him, once and for all. There are pieces of his soul scattered across Avalon. I could use help in finding, collecting, and destroying them. I understand. It is your choice. I can't hold it against you. I will manage on my own. We will, however, meet again, if you decide to pursue the souls of the king. That I can promise. But you still need a way to get out of this island. And to prove I am not your enemy, you can sail with me. Unless you want to stay here and die when the Red Priests find you. That's also your choice. To the Horns of the South. It's a fortress where they keep Excalibur. My plan is to steal it. Or at least what's hiding within that damned blade. A piece of our king is bound to it, and it needs to be destroyed next. If you do decide to be useful, here, pin this emblem to your clothes, and you should get into the Horns without any issues. And when you get inside, find the captain. Brandon's his name. He'll tell you the rest. And yet I still gave you an opportunity to do so. I have something to do first, but you should get some rest. Judging by the waves, the journey won't be pleasant. Set up a camp and get some sleep. Then we'll sail for the Horns of the South. Ah, and here, have some cobweb. Throw that into the fire and you'll be safe from the weirdness. Just in case I don't come back before nightfall.
I should be gone. I should be gone. And yet, here we are. Whatever he tried, it must have failed. Something must have gone wrong. For him. For us, it was a stroke of luck. I felt him strike. For a moment, there was nothing. No weight, no voice, no self. Just silence. But then, you pulled me back, didn't you? Or have I never left? Hatred, yes. That much I understood. But why? What did I take from him that he would go so far? He speaks as if he knows me. As if he has seen something I have not. And yet, I reach for it, and there is nothing. know. It seems that I should, but I don't. He knew me, spoke with certainty, with anger. But to me, he's a stranger. If he was a part of my past, then that past has been taken from me. I need to regain it. I don't... Not much. That isn't right. I should remember. I should. All I know is that I left my kingdom strong, prosperous. It should have grown. It must have flourished in my absence. So, if Caradoc is hunting for more pieces of my soul, we should definitely claim them first. When we do, I should grow stronger. I should remember. I should be whole. Let's go then, young one. Let's not waste any more time. I left my kingdom strong. It should have only grown stronger in my absence. And if something threatens it now, then I will see it restored.
Ready? Hop on the boat.
The sea was restless, waves slamming against the hull as you left the island asylum behind. Caradoc's boat cut through the black waters, its course set for Avalon's shores. Then the deep stirred. A shudder ran through the vessel from neither wind nor tide, but from something far below. A presence, ancient and watching. And then it struck. The boat lurched violently, wood splintering as the sea itself rose in fury. A shadow moved beneath the surface, vast, coiling, inescapable. The next wave swallowed everything. Darkness took you. Salt filled your lungs, and then light. The crash of waves, the cold kiss of wet sand. You were alive. The sea had spared you, but not without a cost.
Much the same. He was a fierce warrior, determined to win at any cost. I watched him closely. I found him too consumed by cruelty. That is why I chose Seawall and Palamedes as my closest confidants. Not him. Yet this Galahad still seems devoted to Camelot and the old ways. And he remains just as fierce. It was the most painful thing I heard. I didn't know. I had no idea this is what happened to him. There were other things that required my attention. We were losing the war. I was needed everywhere. I should have paid more attention to what Merlin was doing. I shouldn't have let go. Much the same. He was a fierce warrior, determined to win at any cost. I watched him closely, and I found him too consumed by cruelty. That is why I chose Seawall and Palamedes as my closest confidants. Yet this Galahad still seems devoted to Camelot and the old ways. And he remains just as fierce. Strong. So real. I remember now. The weight of it. The power. This blade was never just steel. It was a part of me. Yes, the sensation is unmistakable, but it carries more than my soul. It carries a part of my legacy. A sword like that, it doesn't yield easily. It demands strength of body and of will. You'll need to grow stronger before it will choose you.
Oh, a wanderer in the sunken village. You must be lost. Back in the day, you just needed to look at the stars and you'd know where you were going. Now, even they are misplaced. I have everything I need. The entire world in one place. Island Asylum? I don't remember being there, not clearly. But when I look at your face, something stirs. Yes, I'm sure we've crossed paths before. And look at you now, out in the world, breathing the fresh air. That's something to treasure, my friend. Freedom is a gift, even when it feels heavy. Enjoy it. I guess I'm just an old man listening to the sound of the sea. Every wave carries a story, you know. Some are whispers, others are roars. I like to think they're keeping me company. Long ago, I decided to wait for something to happen. So I'm waiting. For what's ahead of me. But I can feel that it's closer than ever. Everything that's around us, it's not yet the end. And that thought really bothers me. Monsters? I think you misunderstand. I don't see any monsters here, only lost villagers, still clinging to their home. It's sad, but as you can see, not much depends on us. The world just keeps on happening, and you happen along with it. They were given some time, which they've tried to use as much as they could. That's all. I'm glad they allow me to stay here despite what happened. I like this place. It's the cycle of life. There's nothing to be afraid of. If you're afraid, it means you're struggling with something too much, my friend. Sometimes you just need to sit and look. Watch everything turn. The sunken village was not always sunken, but one day someone, undoubtedly important, made a decision, undoubtedly necessary, that it would be better to make it so. So the wave came and made the village into the sunken village. And its inhabitants, well, you can see for yourself. Long ago enough for people to have no chance of discovering why it happened. And yet, recently enough that this place still reminds us of it. Now the village is what it is, and the past is washed away. At least it can still be home for them. And I'll stay and look. These are interesting times indeed. I know that some druids did it. Specific individuals, although their names have long been forgotten. This is no great mystery, my friend. You'd have to ask those responsible for the flood. Who knows what's going through people's heads? Maybe someone ordered them to do it. You'll never know. That's a good question. Maybe they burnt during the Charred Conclave. Maybe not. Nevertheless, the punishment was delivered and justice prevailed. Once again, the world was made a better place. At least that's what those who set fire to the stakes preach. All in the name of the Word. Among others, this wouldn't have happened if not for Camelot's desperation. Many tragic decisions were made. I don't know if the Word was so unambiguous or if its interpretation failed. What happened on the fields of the Charred Conclave wasn't just about the flood, my friend. It was about things and forces we don't understand. Before you go, I would like to ask you one thing. Who are you? I understand. I see you, I hear you, and I have a feeling that you will find what you're looking for. Farewell, and thank you for visiting me, my friend. You can come keep me company whenever you want. The sunsets here are beautiful.
It's more than a sword. It's a promise. A blade that stands for unity, for strength, and for hope. It wasn't just mine. It belonged to Avalon. Every swing, every battle was fought for the land and its people. But Excalibur is also a burden. It demands more than just skill. It demands purpose. Without that, then it is just steel. Much the same, he was a fierce warrior, determined to win at any cost. I watched him closely, and I found him too consumed by cruelty. That is why I chose Seawall and Palamedes as my closest confidants, not him. Yet this Galahad still seems devoted to Camelot and the old ways, and he remains just as fierce.
Disturb my peace. You made an oath never to summon me again. Excalibur. Wait. Is it really you? You, who come from a time beyond. Show yourself before me.
It seems he speaks to me. Allow me to answer him.
Welcome, old friend.
I can see that you know me, but I am a mere shadow of my true self. I don't remember you, Lord of the Seas. Forgive me.
That's what you told me, my friend. The next time we see each other, you will not remember me. But you are here now, The will and the power led you back to this place. Even in this incomplete form.
Where should I look for myself? I wish to restore Avalon to its former glory, yet I don't know how.
Avalon's fate has never rested upon one person alone, not even one as great as King Arthur. Yet here you are, trying again, restless and eager to take the responsibility again. I salute you, my friend.
Tell me what I must do to be worthy to lead Avalon once more. I do not think I have the strength.
Your path is true. Seek wholeness, and Avalon will reveal what it needs from you. And yes, you need to touch Excalibur.
Thank you, my friend.
And you, mortal. You have given yourself to the King's service. You are worthy of a place among the keepers of the South. Arthur, take out your sword and fear no failure. It is yours to take. It always was. I deem you worthy, my friend. The promise I gave thy mother is fulfilled, and thus our pact is ended. You know where to look for your soul. Trust yourself. And when you reach your journey's end, I trust you will make the right choice.
I am his will, the fire that bends the world to his command. I am the blade that shapes kings and shatters tyrants. He was the hand that reached beyond knowing, the seeker who dared cross the boundary, the dream.
Enough, Merlin. You can't keep throwing lives into this abyss. These experiments, they're destroying what remains of us.
Destroying us? They're what's keeping us alive. Do you think the Four Dwellers will stop for pity or mercy? Every soul we lose here saves 10 more on the battlefield. You told me to do this. You sanctioned this. And I'm close to getting it right. I know it.
No, we can't justify this. There's no victory worth such a cost.
You know full well, Arthur, that this isn't about victory. It's about survival. If we don't push these boundaries, there will be no future for your kingdom. For Avalon. You dream of peace. But without victory, there will be no peace to dream of. The path ahead is brutal. But if we relent now, we lose everything.
And yet we keep losing people and gaining nothing in return. We must change the path.
They volunteered for this.
They volunteered to save our kingdom. And you've gotten no closer to doing it. Their sacrifices cannot be in vain, Merlin. Find another way. Use your mind, your wisdom. Leave this slaughterhouse you've created behind.
A different way. That will take time. And resources we may not have. The enemy won't wait.
They will if I make them. Whatever it takes, I will buy you that time. Find me a weapon that wins this war without annihilating what we fight to protect.
Whatever it takes.
Yes. Let it be known that it was my decision, and I will bear the consequences of it.
Oh no, my king. People can never know. It was all my idea, and you knew nothing about it. All of us have our role to play. You are the leader, and they need to love you. If we win, you need to become more than a man. You need to become a symbol.
He was the hand that reached beyond knowing, the seeker who dared cross the boundary, the dreamer who glimpsed the shape of what could be.
Now, I remember. Before you judge me, it all seems so obvious now, doesn't it? The right thing to do. It wasn't back then, and you can trust me on that. We were on the brink of losing the war, and wars aren't won with wishful thinking. There was no clean path, no noble answer. Only the weight of reality pressing down on our necks. Something had to be done, or everything we fought for would have been in vain. And in the end, the ones who stepped forward, who chose to pay the price, made it possible. And their deaths gave Merlin the knowledge he needed to finish his work. To find something that could really turn the tide in our favor. I told him to stop the experiments on our men, but to keep going. And he did. He started experimenting on the Four Dwellers, the enemy. If their bodies could be broken down, their power turned against them. Wasn't that their own doing? Wasn't that fair? So he figured out how to twist the Four Dwellers' power into something we could wield. I told him to conquer the weirdness. And in the end, he did. He found a way to make me stronger. Stronger than any man had the right to be. It wasn't just magic. It was something deeper, older. A force that reshaped me. And with it, we won. The war ended. Avalon was ours. The bloodshed stopped. The banners were raised, and the kingdom stood safe. That's the question, isn't it? I keep thinking about Seawall. He was ready to pay the ultimate price for what we were fighting for. And I thought he did. I grieved him. Told myself his sacrifice had meaning, that he had given his life for Avalon. And now, after all these years, finding him like this, I told myself I carried the weight of my choices. But seeing him, I wonder if I ever truly did.
Another piece of the king's soul reclaimed, right? What did it show you this time? Merlin. Merlin and his obsession with the weirdness. The king thought it could save us. Merlin thought it could be controlled. Together, they were willing to tear the world apart to win. You cannot kill me, and I don't want to kill you. But if you want to fight me now, I'll grant your wish. That's the least I can do. Impressive hit, but it'll take more to defeat me. Impressive hit, but it'll take more to defeat me. All right, that's enough. You win. This changes absolutely nothing, but I hope you at least feel better about yourself. If you want the next piece, head to Connacht. The menhir there is failing, and the weirdness is swallowing what's left of the village. You will need to find another artifact. The shield that was given to Palamedes by the king. He was one of the king's finest. A voice of reason amidst the madness. But it didn't save him or his legacy from what they had coming. Find the shield. And then, well, we will meet again. We'll see if your perspective changes.
This is my shield, but there's no part of my soul inside. We need to look somewhere else. But I can feel the missing part. Close. Maybe it's the menhir. Maybe it needs something from us.
I am his oath, the weight of duty that shields the faithful. I am the wall between order and ruin.
You can't just allow for things like that to happen. Not ever again. Not when the kingdom is beginning to find its way. You're the king, and that comes with a whole lot more responsibility. You can't let people like Merlin do what they want, even if their intentions are pure. You must see the danger now.
The memory of Seawall is my burden. Harder to bear than I'd like to admit. But I've realized that his story is what happens when power answers to no one.
Then do something so that a tragedy like that never happens again.
Palamedes, you've always spoken your mind, even when I didn't want to hear it. You've stood beside me through the darkest days and fought not for glory, but for Avalon and its people.
I have done only what I believe was right, nothing more.
Yes, and that made me realize that Merlin was wrong. The legacy I leave won't endure through the legend of a single man, whether it's me or anyone else. I decided to give my sword to the Horns of the South, to bind them not to me, but to the people. But Avalon needs more than that. It needs structures, memory, and resistance to corruption. It needs the foundation of something greater than any one of us.
A shield?
Yes. One to guard Avalon, even from itself. You've proven yourself time and again, so my shield is yours, Palamedes. Not just to wield, but to become. Let your bloodline anchor what my reign could not.
And you believe I am worthy of such a responsibility? I will not fail you, my king.
Don't carry this burden for me, Palamedes. You never have. Carry it for Avalon, and may your name be a blessing upon this land for generations to come. Isn't an object. It's the bloodline itself. But I also remember the shield was meant to resist. Not enemies, not blades, but corruption, compromise, cowardice. Palamedes understood that. Nothing I've seen here reminds me of him. Nothing resembles the kingdom we were trying to build. Lord Yvain, a joke of a man. A mere shadow of his ancestor. Not worthy of his title, nor of leading his people. I tried to build something lasting. Something that wouldn't depend on me to survive. I distributed power, tied it to oaths, not blood. Gave regions autonomy, left behind symbols to bind them. But what we've seen so far, that's not a kingdom. That's theater. People playing at being lords and commanders, taking on roles they don't even understand. Well, my friend, they still call me the once and future king. Still hold feasts in my name. Feasts won't save them, but action might. We've wasted enough time. Let's move to the Forlorn Swords and find my crown. Let's make me whole. It's the last hope for this wretched kingdom of ruin.
If you want to do this, you can still back out. Camelot will surely forgive you for this insubordination.
I have never been more certain of anything in my life. This is the only way.
Fine. Do as you will. Look who woke up. You're a bit late, though. You missed the show. Our Lord gave a rousing speech to his subjects explaining why he's going to leave them in these dire times. I'll leave you two. I need to start cleaning up the mess you made, Yvain. And before I forget, some shady-looking character was looking for you. Didn't tell me his name, but said you're old friends. Said he'll wait nearby.
Greetings, friend of our house. What may I do for you today? I cannot say for certain, but I have faith that Anselm will manage. Truth be told, he's been the one keeping things in order for quite some time now, since I've been all too aware of how much I've neglected my responsibilities. Camelot will keep the peace in my stead, and I can only hope that the people of Connacht will come to trust Denholm and his men. We may not agree on every matter, but I cannot deny Denholm's honor. When I return, it will have to be enough. And so, I thank you once more. House Terion is... no, wait. I am personally deeply indebted to you. Because of your efforts, my family has the chance to reclaim the glory it once knew. Farewell.
Well, well, look at you. Moving along nicely, aren't we? You're piecing him back together faster than I expected. We're getting closer to the end. And since you've proven yourself so capable, maybe it's time. You should have enough power now to enter his mansion. Here, go to this place and see if the door opens for you. No. If you want to know the truth about the man pulling the strings, it's time you took a look behind the curtain. It's the house of someone I once called my employer, Orin. The same one whose plans got you out of the island asylum. I don't know. We stopped seeing eye to eye on certain things, and our relationship soured. No, not really. There's one last piece of Arthur's soul waiting for you. The third artifact. His crown, this time. You'll find it deep in the Forlorn Swords, in the capital city of Dalriata. Meet with Gerfan. He'll either attack you on sight, or explain everything patiently, depending on how he feels about... Oh, you'll see for yourself. How would I know? I'd say going into Dalriata territory is a surprise all on its own. But don't worry. They've got bigger problems at the moment than you sneaking off with their sacred helmet. Once you're done, meet me at the Charred Conclave. That's where we'll finish this, one way or another.
Means Caradoc has fulfilled his task, and the wheel of destiny has begun to turn. I am Orin, your majesty's devoted servant, and the apprentice of your friend Merlin. Nothing would bring me greater joy than meeting you face to face. Alas, that must wait, for our paths have yet to cross, though I hope it will be soon. In the meantime, please treat my home as your own. Make yourself comfortable. Rest from your hardships and seek the knowledge you require. And you, brave vessel, remember to heed your lord, King Arthur, now and always. Dear, how long I've been waiting for you, my king. I've memorized Merlin's plan for your resurrection. Yet I'm certain my master made a mistake somewhere. I just can't pinpoint quite where. The theory of revival itself, the technique for performing the ritual was flawless. After all, you always returned to us. But I saw how much suffering each resurrection caused you. I wanted to find a way to bring you back to us as the person you truly wished to be.
I have watched your journey, Walker in the Weirdness. I saw how you helped the Lost Thoid children face their burdens, the weight that kept them from entering this chamber. For that, you have my gratitude. But I know you have your own purpose. Now tell me what it is. You seek the legacy of the one who brought so much suffering. I do not know if you come to me searching for pain, truth, or hope. But now I understand. You need the support of the tribes to face what slumbers beneath the earth. Tell me, human child, why? Why should I stop waiting for Ingvi and release her from her journey towards Sonder? Her burden is lifted. She has no reason to remain in a world crumbling into ruin. All for the ambitions of one old man. Rebuilding old myths will not undo the inevitable. The past is a graveyard, Walker. If you keep chasing it, if you keep digging up what was buried long ago, you will find yourself in a grave before long.
Enough. There is no reasoning with the giant's stubborn nature. No matter what you say, she'll keep dragging you deeper into the labyrinth of her mind. That is why I ordered the giants to sleep. Their nature was unpredictable. They reveled in strange manipulations, willing to wager their own lives in primitive bets and frivolous games. And so, I speak. Whatever this one demands, grant it. That is the order of the king to whom you swore fealty.
I was wondering how long you would stay silent, letting the human whose body you stole speak for you. You have lasted surprisingly long. I suppose emptiness and oblivion have taught you some humility. Nevertheless, greetings, Arthur. I am glad I have finally dreamt of this moment. The moment I can tell you, face to face, that everything is your fault. Avalon is falling because you existed. Because you continue to exist. This is also the moment I accuse you of murdering my children. And the children of the other giants. Your human king got to know us well. When he ordered the giants to sleep, he knew that our children could not dream. Dreaming is something giants grow into with age. Having no choice but to obey, we left our children behind in the waking world. Alone, defenseless, condemned to the coldness of death. Quiestra, the child I once held in my arms, never dreamed with me. While I built layer upon layer of my dreaming, she was dying. But I had time. Enough time to dream of Sonder. A place and a state where death holds no power. There, I will dream, Quiestra. I will give shelter to the entire Thoid tribe, including Ingavi. I will not abandon any more children to the waking world.
I have made many terrible mistakes during my reign, but I always considered what was best for my people. At least, that was my intention. I wanted to make Avalon our home, free from the plague, free from forces that would seek to oppose us. I thought that my return would restore balance, that I could prevent Avalon's fall.
Your idea of what is good is twisted, human king. As for you, mortal, yes, you need the blessing of the tribes to claim the crown. Those were the terms of the sacred pact, but you will have to manage without the Thoid. They will all come with me into Sonder. I will care for them as if they were my own children. And I will save them from this world's corruption. Indeed, you have the right to make such a demand. The role you played in the fate of the Thoid grants you that authority. And Ingavi, she will accept the path laid before her without protest. Perhaps it is only fair that the last of her people remains awake. That some trace of the beautiful children of Thoyd may endure until the end of time. Very well. So be it. The way to Sonder is closed to Elder Ingevi. Her duty now is to carry the legacy, tribe. Walker, although you carry fragments of the King's soul within you, the choices are yours to make. And you, Arthur, do not think you still command everything. You are a prisoner of your own legacy. It is done. Our long-dreamt-of meeting has come to an end. And I am pleased with the outcome. Leave now, and let us dream.
Oh, you're back. I tried following you, but the door shut right in front of my face. Almost on my nose, to be honest. A Fort Dweller? Ah, so it's just as I suspected. But why would a Fort Dweller be in what's supposed to be the Temple of Meter? Angstvar told me the pillar in the village was ancient, and that back in the day, it would blaze scarlet with Mater's true fury. But we both know that it simply reacts to creatures touched by the weirdness, and it hardly ever blazed for either of us. That's because it's tuned to react specifically to the Fort Dwellers. I know that Alrita fought alongside King Arthur against them, but it still doesn't explain why this one tribe has a pillar like that. Oh, I see now! According to the Volker legends, the first berserkers were born on the battlefield during the war with the Fort Dwellers. Mater was supposed to lend them her anger and strength, but maybe the truth is far more visceral. Blood has power. The Druids always knew that. And the blood of a Fort Dweller must have been the purest weirdness, the purest intent. If you believed it could make you invincible, then that's exactly what it would do. You will do with this knowledge what you see fit. Angstvar and I, we've had our differences. I doubt he'd believe me, and honestly, I'm not brave enough to try to convince him. Now, I promised you a reward. I'll give you something he refused, but it might be of some use to you. I've managed to... It's not as potent, but now that I know what it is, it's far less damaging to the body. Take it. You look like you've still got a long journey ahead of you. Don't mention it. It's been a pleasure meeting you. I think I'll stay here for a while and see how things unfold. After that, I'll find another mystery to chase. Who knows? Maybe our paths will cross again, fellow traveler. In the meantime, try not to get into too much trouble.
his burden, the man beneath the myth.
First, you used these people to win yourself a kingdom, and now you herded them here under threat of being stomped to death by giants if they leave or disobey. After all that they've gone through, all that they've done, all that they've suffered, this is how you intend to repay them?
No kingdom will stand with people like them within its borders. They would have to change their ways. The Del Rita are not ready for this. You know this.
You did worse than all of them combined, and you are the one responsible for all they've done so far. They fought for your name and under your banners. Does this mean you're not fit to be a king? Not ready to have a kingdom?
I left the heritage of Pendragon behind me. I severed the ties between myself and my tribe. I lost all that tied me to the past when I became king. I set a new path for myself. They are not ready to do that.
Bullshit! You forced them to go against their sacred traditions. You destroyed their identities. They betrayed their comrades because you ordered them to. They kidnapped the children of the giants because you told them to do it. Everything they did was so that you could win this war. And now what? You're going to punish them for being your best, fiercest soldiers, most loyal of your men?
This is not...
Oh, stop with your excuses already! You broke them, and now you're abandoning them to starve or freeze to death in these damned lands.
This kingdom needs to be built on peace, Caradoc. Letting them live among merchants, lords, and ladies in Camelot or Timberwall. How would that go?
Exactly as anyone would expect it to go.
So we would end up with a civil war. Right after we won the war that almost annihilated us all.
Oh, damn you. I've had enough. I stood by you through everything. Even what you did to me. To Seawall. I let it all slide. I told myself it was for something. For a noble cause. But this is where I draw the line. I renounce my oaths, and I'm walking away. Put a blade in my back if that helps you sleep. I don't care. Not anymore.
Now I remember it all. I left the best of my people here. I betrayed their loyalty. And for what? Everything is in ruin. Everything I struggled to build is corrupted. This land, it had a glorious past, but it has no future. There is no way to save it. And what if my decision cost them the ability to grow? What if instead of helping them become better, I forced them to stay set in their ways? I may have been right about the diagnosis, but now I see that I could have been wrong about the cure. The tribes helped us win the war. They were fearless and followed every order. They were the most loyal of all. But I left them broken. And after the war, their bloodlust was insatiable. I had to do something. This felt like the only choice. The giants sided with our enemy. We had to find a way to remove them from the equation. So, under cover of night, the tribes stole their children. I told the giants their offspring were our hostages, and that we would slaughter them if they refused to bend the knee. One of the most humiliating moments of that whole war, both for me and for the Del Rita. Caradoc had the clearest eyes of any of us. He saw things for what they were, and I think I destroyed that. Destroyed him with all I did. I turned him into this. He used to carry hope. Now all he carries is vengeance. I come from the Pendragon bloodline, a heritage drenched in as much blood as that of the Del Rita, a heritage that pillaged and fought in the homelands for longer than anyone can remember, and unable to build anything that withstood the test of time. I decided to leave it behind me when we won the war against the Four Dwellers, and built our kingdom on Avalon on stronger foundations. Now we've seen that my bloodline must have been cursed. There's nothing left. Nothing worth saving. Nothing worth rebuilding. I gave everything I had to this land. My blood, my soul, my name. And the land devoured it. I betrayed the ones who believed in me. I cut down the men who fought for me. I turned away from my own blood to build something better. And all I built was another ruin. Do what you want. There's nothing about this land. All I've ever done got turned into dust, corrupted against my intentions, destroyed. Why bother?
Del Rita have long been our allies. Through their eyes, we have watched your kingdom fall into corruption. Camelot will fall. Your will shall be done.
So, you finally made it. Took you long enough. I hope you're ready, because this is it. The beginning of the end. Ready to finish your journey, of course. You've come far, but every path ends somewhere. Yours ends here, in the heart of it all. This is the Charred Conclave, a graveyard for druids, burned alive as scapegoats for the Red Death. It's a reminder of what happens when people fear what they don't understand. Well, first, you're going to meet my former employer. We don't see eye to eye anymore, but we both realize that our collaboration yields results, as shown by you being here. He'll try to sugarcoat the hard truths I've been telling you from the beginning, spin them differently. Never mind. Why waste time here talking about it when you're just remember, this is the point of no return. Once you step through, there's no going back. But if you've come this far, I suppose you already knew that. Go on. He's waiting for you.
At last we meet. I've heard much about you. Your choices, your determination. Caradoc isn't easily impressed, but he was impressed with you. Few dare to seek the truth buried in Avalon's shadows. Fewer still make it this far. I was the first. Caradoc followed when my brethren burned and the tear opened. And now, here you are, a truly rare and joyful... Oh, forgive my lack of manners. I am Orin, the last apprentice of Merlin, and the last archdruid of Avalon. I've carried the weight of this land's secrets longer than I care to admit. But names mean little. What matters is the task before us. What lingers here, it's older than Avalon. Older than anything we know. What you see is the beginning of weirdness itself. Its purest form, raw potential, unshaped by anything but its lack of boundaries and limits. Beautiful, isn't it? Oh, precisely the opposite of what Caradoc wants. I want you to help me resurrect King Arthur. Properly this time. Ridiculous, I know. But yes, that's what it boils down to. At some point, we stopped seeing eye to eye and chose different paths. Ultimately, though, both our paths led to you. Yes, please let me explain. By the end of his life, Arthur became obsessed with his legacy. He left mementos, artifacts that embodied the virtues he wanted Avalon to preserve. Excalibur, a symbol of loyalty and sacrifice. The crown of Pendragon, a beacon of courage and resilience. The shield of Palamedes, wisdom and independence. But Merlin and the others didn't believe that would be enough. The memory of war and the fragility of peace was still too fresh. So they acted. When the king died, his soul wasn't allowed to move on. It was shattered, bound to those artifacts. A clever solution, but ultimately flawed. They feared losing what Arthur represented more than losing Arthur himself. They thought the king's essence would endure if bound to his relics. You can't pick and choose with a soul, but that's exactly what Merlin did. He focused on 3 parts of Arthur: his strength, wisdom, and courage. He left out 2 pieces. One, tainted by the Four Dwellers' magic, was deemed too dangerous. Merlin thought compassion and doubt were weaknesses, unfit for a king. Without them, Arthur became hollow. A king with power, but no heart. That way, Avalon's greatest failure was born. I tried, finding it needed more than magic. It needed someone like you. The horrors you endured on that island gave you something no one else has. You can move through the weirdness, touch it, and return whole. That's why you found the king's soul, bound it to yourself, and came back. You flatter me. No, I couldn't have predicted all of that. I merely nudged the Red Church in the right direction and asked Caradoc to assist where I couldn't. I can see you're still doubting me. I want to bring back our king, whole and complete. I want him to lead again and safeguard Avalon's future. Because I've seen what happens without him. Weirdness preys on the weak, and the people are too divided to stand against it alone. Arthur is their only hope. Ever they're left without him, without guidance, chaos takes hold. Division festers. You've seen it during your journeys. If things continue this way, Avalon will... They will follow him. That's what people do. When weirdness comes to their doorstep, they'll beg for a savior. Help me bring the king back, whole and complete. That's all I ask of you. Now you need to go further. I made my case. Please keep in mind what I told. This is the only way for Avalon to survive.
I was there when it all began, when Arthur first set foot on Avalon. I was a knight in his army. We believed in him, in his dream, in his kingdom. And for a while, it was glorious. Every battle felt like a step closer to peace. Every sacrifice justified by the dream we shared. But then came the cost. The war crimes, the impossible decisions, the massacres, slaughters, and irrational cruelty. We turned from knights into butchers, all because his dream demanded it of us. At first I told myself it was necessary, that it was the price of building something great. But the longer it went on, the harder it was to believe. That's when I realized Arthur wasn't a god, a savior, or a king. He was just another man, and no man should have the power to demand such sacrifices. But do you understand why I want it so much? I'd like to believe that after 600 years I've moved past pettiness. You need to understand that people thought, and still think, that he was more than human. But he wasn't. He made mistakes, just like any man. And the cost of those mistakes was always paid for by others. I've seen what happens when people cling to kings and myths. They wait, they follow. They waste their lives on promises that never meant anything. But that's not my problem. I'm not here to... What comes after doesn't matter. Let it all burn. Let it rot. Let it rebuild. I won't be here to see it. Let them stand, let them fall. It's not my concern. At least it won't. Arthur's the only myth that still holds weight. And when he's gone, the rest will rot with him. A puppet king, another empty throne, none of it will last. Maybe they'll keep pretending for a while. Maybe they won't. And call it chaos, call it freedom, I don't care. Let them rise, let them fall, let them tear each other apart. I just want to watch it all come down, to see the last lie collapse. What comes after, that's for the ones still standing to figure out. I've lived. Orin's a druid. That's what they do. They believe. They believe in myths, in symbols, and some of them believe in saving Avalon. I don't believe it's my decision to make. Not Orin's, not Arthur's, not mine. I've watched this cycle turn too many times. I have no stake in what comes after, only in making sure this nightmare finally ends. We were fools to tamper with forces we didn't understand, resurrecting Arthur, infusing him with powers of the weirdness. We didn't just bend the natural laws, we shattered them. Such violations of nature's order cannot go unanswered. The bill comes due, This cannot be allowed to continue. Listen, it's taken longer than I ever imagined. But now, here we are. You've done what no one else could. You've brought Arthur's soul back together. Almost complete, but not quite. And because of you, I can finally finish what I started centuries ago. So, thank you for bringing us to this moment. You're close now. Just one more step. The last fragment of Arthur's soul is waiting for you. And then, we'll meet again. As allies, or as enemies. That's up to you. Go. Find the last piece, and let's end this. Whatever comes next, I'll be ready.
You've come. The one who carries what's left of me. Please, don't come any closer. Don't force me to think about coming back again. Just let me finally die. Because I've had enough. Enough of being torn apart and stitched back together. Enough of being used, shaped, and forced to be something I'm not. Do you know what it is like to be a king of nothing? To see the people you swore to protect suffer because of your choices? Or worse, in your name. I've seen towns burnt to the ground, families destroyed. All because someone thought it would serve the greater good. And they called it loyalty. They called it justice. I've been dragged through every dream, every lie they've built around me. And I'm tired. Tired of the weight, of the expectations, of all of it. And most of all, I'm tired of failing. I want release. I want to stop kill me. Destroy the last piece of me and use the energy however you wish. Take it yourself and become the new king. Give it to someone else. I don't care. Just don't let me come back again. He thinks ending me will free Avalon. But what then? Without an idea, a light to guide them, they'll stumble, lose their way, and turn on each other. People always seek something to follow, something to believe in. Take that away, and they'll tear each other apart trying to find it. Orin wants a king, not me. He doesn't see the broken man behind the myth, but symbols aren't people. They're empty. And the more they're used, the more they hollow out the one who carries them. That's all I've ever been to Orin and the Druids. Do you know what it's like to be a weapon? To be forged, sharpened, and thrown at every problem? Let me die. Not as Arthur, not as the king, just as a simple, normal human being. Another way? There's always another way, isn't there? Another cycle, another resurrection, but please. Isn't that what you've been doing all along? Carrying what's left of him? You've already taken up the humanity I was meant to represent. Doesn't that prove Arthur doesn't need me anymore? to not see the suffering my name causes. No more deaths in my shadow. No more kingdoms built on my bones. Do what you think is right. That's all I can tell you. Because whatever you decide, it will finally be your choice. Not mine. Not theirs. And that's the only thing I've ever wanted. You hold the choice. I don't care who you side with. Orin, Caradoc, or no one at all. You have all of my soul. Use it. Take it for yourself. Or give it to someone else. I don't even want to know. Do what you will, just let me go. Let me finally rest. Let me die. Please.
Help me bring the king back, whole and complete. That's all I ask of you. Now you need to go further. I made my case. Please keep in mind what I told you. This is the only way for Avalon to survive.
Go on. He's waiting for you.
You carried a dying king across the bones of a dying world. Now you stand before what started it all. An idea. I am the reason there must be an ending. I do not guide. I do not judge. I exist so that something can be chosen. I do not offer meaning. I require that one be made. You have brought all things to their conclusion. Now choose, and let the shape of the world follow. You will vanish into the story you chose to restore. You will break the frame, and what follows will not remember you. You will shape the world to become its witness. You will be seen. You will be followed. You will be blamed. Then the idea shall endure.
I begged you not to do this. I begged you.
No, I won't let this happen. Not again.
Through your sacrifice, the king returned, entire, unbroken, and ready to reclaim his throne. You held faith that Avalon's fate still turned with him, that one last rising could bring balance to the broken land. Now he rules again, and the world bends to the weight of your choice, for salvation or for ruin. You gave everything to restore the king, and your journey ended with his return. Closing your eyes upon the sight of Arthur's triumph, you felt no regret, only the certainty that your final choice had been the right one. With and Captain Brandon working side by side, the South found a peace it hadn't known in years. The roads stayed open, the fields were guarded, and the people finally felt safe. No longer bound to Camelot or the Knights of the Round Table, it became a land ruled by its own people on its own terms. The men here stayed in Kuanacht, but Yvain failed to rally the minds and hearts needed for his Grail quest. With no clear leaders and rising tension, both Kuanacht and Camelot grew fragile, drifting toward division, with no one left to hold the line. You awakened the giants, and with them at their side, the Dal Rita conquered Camelot. As the capital fell, the customs of the tribes spread across Avalon. Not everyone welcomed them, but the change had already taken root. Fergus was named the new Galahad the Loyal. With One Eye and Brendan backed by the Dal Rita the Forlorn Swords, he saw that the South's alliance was strong enough to stand on its own. He urged Camelot to leave the South in peace, and turned his attention to securing the rest of Avalon. The captain led the South to independence, breaking all ties with Camelot. Under his rule, the Horns of the South flourished. Merchants, pilgrims, and adventurers returned to the roads, and prosperity once again reached the far corners of the land. One Eye ruled the South, with the Horns of the South at his side. Over time, the Dal Rita of the Fallen Swords rallied to his banner, forging a unified force. With the South secured, he stood in a strong position to launch future conquests across Avalon. Nianta left Kuanacht with Yvain, and her fate remained unknown. Yet among the people she once served, tales of her devotion and courage endured, and her name was remembered with respect. Maggot chose to remain in Kuanacht, and the people stayed with him. Over time, they grew to trust him and often sought his wisdom. In time, he took on an apprentice, planting the first seeds of a new druidic tradition. Ulfre left Kuanacht alongside Yvain, despite concerns about his age. His fate remained unknown, but the people admired him for finding purpose at the end of his life, and spoke of him with lasting respect. With Helmi as the new matron, the Volca returned to their former glory with renewed ferocity, their berserkers filled with an aggression that stirred quiet fear among the other tribes. Among the united tribes of the Dal Rita, the Volca were treated with equal parts awe and mistrust, seeming to teeter closer and closer to madness. Ingrid turned away from the eternal sleep, choosing life over dreams. In time, she began to rebuild the Thoid among the living, planting the first seeds of a new future for her scattered people. Under Stronar's leadership, the Ulfra found new strength. He rebuilt the tribe and reunited them with the rest of the Dal Rita, restoring their place among the tribes of the Forlorn Swords. With the Stagfather slain and the old bonds broken, Balaam led the swine towards a new path. He opened the tribe to the other clans of the Dal Rita and guided them to settle in the Mather mines. You accepted the mycelium's offer and let the spores consume Sagramor's body. Now the kingdom lies under fungal control, its people connected, obedient, and slowly fading into the roots that feed the spores. After returning to Camelot, Killian lived quietly for a time. When he vanished, few asked questions. Unsettling rumors had always followed him, and most preferred not to remember.
Ahoj, doufám, že se ti video líbilo, nezapomeň dát zvoneček, like, odběr, sdílení, doufám, že se ti ještě víc bude líbit toto video, protože jsem se snažil ten edit udělat o něco lepší, než byl doteď, si myslím a tak dále. Děkuji za sledovanost u tohoto videa a u minulých videích a já se loučím za 3, 2, 1.